climate conference in Glasgow, COP26, ended after 2 weeks of deliberations, the result of which has been a pact agreed amongst the parties, governments and businesses alike, with a number of pledges and commitments towards ramping up the fight against global warming and achieving net zero carbon emissions. But now the hard work begins, and that's the implementation phase. One area that touches us all is the built environment, from our homes to our workplaces. From construction to its use, our buildings emit 40% of the UK's total carbon footprint. As such, responsibility falls with us all, not just the landlords, but businesses occupying space, individual users, and all those that work within the real estate industry. So what can we do, and what changes need to be made to make our contributions count? So to discuss this, I'm joined by my colleagues Luke Philpott, Equity Partner at DeVono, Amanda Irwin, Director of Workplace Consultancy, and our design and build colleagues at Dthree Studio, Senior Designers Hannah May and Jess Willdigg. So welcome to you all. And my first question is going to be fired at you, Luke. And so we've had COP26, we've had all the news, all the kind of press attention. Has anything changed for the real estate sector, whether it's for the landlords and tenants, as a result of the conference?
I mean, it's not the real estate sector specifically, but we know that the built environment and everyone operating within it is a sort of a chief protagonist of our sort of carbon footprint as a country, which is the case for every developed country. I think the major sort of announcements that have come out of that will impact us as operators, within the UK real estate sector, is that large firms now, for the first time, have been mandated as a result of COP26 to publish, if you like, the architecture of their plans to achieve net zero by 2023. As in, they have to publish these plans by 2023. So that's probably the biggest thing. The government wanting larger firms to publish their energy consumption as well is a direct result of COP26. But I think, more interestingly, it seems to have once again just got the green agenda back on the sort of table as something that now must be taken really, really seriously. It's and I feel like that is probably for the first time in a long time being taken seriously now.
And I suppose kind of where we're now kind of have another focus and another goal in which to try and kind of strive towards. So Amanda, that kind of workplace reinvention as a result of the pandemic, is there a suggestion that the way that we're now working is going to help kind of cut down on those carbon emissions, and is it going to kind of help businesses achieve some of those targets?
Yeah, Shaun, I think that there is a belief that, working from home and hybrid working can help promote those, and they can do if you calculate them the right way. So WSP recently released a report, and they did some interesting calculations where it showed if you have everybody working from home and only heating their home office, for example, the emissions compared to working in the office would be less than half. So it looks really good. However, the public transport that people would be taking into the offices are still running. And so you really have to take that into account. Homes are far less efficient than offices. They already are more than double the emissions than commercial and public sector combined. If you have an example where people are more likely heating their entire homes, the amount of carbon that's being emitted compared to people traveling in and heating the office is about double. So if you calculate it the right way and you don't include all of the extra pieces like people's homes and the office running and public transport, the numbers can look right. But unfortunately, for hybrid working and working from home to be a real ally, there has to be a much larger kind of countrywide project around it. It can't just be business to business, I think.
To our colleagues over at Dthree Studio there, and you've got landlords developing these buildings or kind of upgrading existing buildings, but the construction industry is very carbon intensive. Hannah, how is the industry mitigating that at present? And when handing over to you guys in the fit out world, what are you seeing as the best practices within design and fit out?
I think with sustainability and fit out, it's actually changed over the years. It used to be about being able to just specify like a recycled flooring product, and they were kind of like easy boxes to tick. Whereas now what people are looking at is longevity in design, and whether fit outs can kind of surpass more than one tenant, or it can kind of adapt and change as you do. So rather than ripping out and starting again, because construction is such a wasteful industry, is there ways that we can kind of limit that or reuse certain products in different areas? And I think the whole perception from manufacturers, subcontractors, everyone, and even ourselves as designers, we have to think completely differently to what we used to do, which was essentially ticking a box just to kind of get that green accreditation.
Just following on from Han's point, I think tenants who are going to be moving into these Cat A+ spaces, they are asking the question about what has the landlord done in terms of sustainability. There is that real interest that there wasn't a few years ago.
Big businesses have come up with all these targets and goals. They will ultimately be judged on how they meet those, and us too, as a support function for businesses, but also for businesses themselves. So ultimately, yeah, we will be judged on how far we achieve these. And the reality is that we all have our own part to play in this, and the next year will be crucial for not just the industry, but for everyone to start implementing those changes. So whilst this has been a short discussion, and it is a wider discussion that we will play out in future episodes of these podcasts and our insights and collateral that goes out. But I just want to kind of thank you guys for coming together today. And if anybody does have any questions on this, what we discussed, need support in your workplace search or design, give us a call. But thank you guys.